boys in blue are back.
Back!
We're back, baby!
Yelinich, he finishes that shot! And another save! Max Freed!
Welcome to another episode of the City Boys.
Welcome to another episode of the City Boys Show. I'm Javier. This is Danny.
What is up?
Yo, what is going on? It's been a minute that we were in the studio.
Yeah, it's been a minute in general.
Nah, we've been recording, kind of. Half-baked episodes while being kicked out of a stadium. How was the Father's Day?
Father's Day was good. You know, it's funny. Maddie asked, what do you want to do? And I go, nothing. And it's nice. We just ordered Chinese food, watched the movie.
What movie?
It was called like something Howling Castle. It's one of those Ghibli studio movies.
Kids movie?
You know, like Spirited Away.
You keep saying things that I don't know.
You don't know Spirited Away?
I have no idea what Spirited Away
You
is.
never seen a Kiki's Delivery Service? You don't watch anime?
Yo, you're
already?
going deeper and deeper into a hole that's not connecting, bro.
Well, Howl's Moving Castle or something. It's like a Japanese movie. Bro, it's a good movie. You should check it out. I can't believe you've never seen Spirited Away.
I haven't seen any of these anime movies.
Bro, it's like these kids movies with like really deep meanings in them.
Okay, let's move on.
It's like the Pixar of the Japanese Pixar.
I got English Pixar.
You're killing. What'd you do for Father's Day?
We had a Father's Day basketball. Dads versus sons. Granted, I don't have a son, but we were playing with all the youngins versus the old heads. Bro, I am so sore right now.
Wait, how old are these youngins?
They're decent size, like 18, 16, 15.
Oh, okay.
These kids have been eating something, bro, because they're strong. But we won. It was like best of 5 series. We won 3-2.
Oh,
it was
that's
close.
crazy.
I did absolutely nothing. And I had like the smallest kid who was like 10 or 12. But my team won, and I'm sore as hell, but it was all worth it.
Nice.
Fun times. And then I got Korean barbecue after. Homemade.
Oh, you have any Koreans you brought to your home?
My wife tried to make Korean.
Did it come out Korean tasty?
Yeah, it did. It actually was
Wow,
good.
that's impressive.
I know. But there was so much soccer. So much soccer.
Yes.
You
pretty much can turn on the TV and there's a soccer game.
Yeah, it's fun right now.
It's so cool, bro. Between the World Cup qualifiers, the FIFA World Cup tournament,
FIFA Club World Cup.
but too many World Cups in this situation, bro.
FIFA Club World Cup. We got we got people qualifying for the World Cup,
Yes.
and then we got Gold Cup now.
Yes.
So a lot of action going on right
Yes.
now. What was I gonna say? Yeah, there's a lot of football. The only thing is, it's like smack down in the middle of our season. I don't know what's going on with like everything's just like there was like a soccer game yesterday. MLS was playing during the FIFA Club World Cup. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, it does not.
Especially
Wait, who was playing?
a bunch of teams were playing on Saturday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then
you're
that
right,
was the
you're
start
right.
of FIFA Club World Cup with
Yes.
Inter Miami playing.
Yes.
I don't know if you've been watching FIFA Club World Cup. How did you feel MLS teams are playing?
Honestly, the only game I saw was today's game, like LAFC game. We were talking about it. It's just so. I thought LAFC did a good job holding their own, but you can just tell. Not really maybe the skill level, although you can tell the difference in the skill level, but the speed is such a big difference. And it's so funny because I'm always playing, FIFA online, and you go and because no one's playing with an MLS team, I'm always playing against like Bayern Munich or some nonsense like that. And I'm like, they're really not that much faster than our players.
Oh,
they
they
really are.
Oh, they are.
It's crazy.
But you know what's crazy to me? I sent you a text like, this is why it's such a disparity between the two. And then you look at their budgets, and one is like 100 million they spend a year versus like 20 million that LAFC spend. I
think it was even less. I think it was
Yeah.
like $6 million. Well, I think the salary cap is $6 million. But
Yeah.
then if you take like
like the
the
GAMs
TP and all that stuff, you're like 15 20 mil.
But an interesting thing, I don't know if you saw this. There's this one club. They played Bayern Munich.
Oh yeah, Auckland City. I saw
Auckland City.
that.
I don't know if you know, but half of these guys have real jobs outside of the team. Like they need that to cover the team. Do you think that's a little embarrassing for this tournament, or you kind of like to see it?
I mean, I kind of like to see it. I think okay. I actually was thinking about this. I like to see it, right? Because if you think about it, it's kind of like the U.S. Open Cup, right? The top of each league joins, and some leagues suck, and sometimes some leagues are good. You know what I mean? And so if you get the top team, and Auckland City has a bunch of post office workers who made it, then you play them, right? I think the problem is you got the marketing for this saying this is the most elite tournament now, right? Like these are the top teams of the top teams that you're watching. This is the new version of the Champions League because it's global.
Yeah.
But then you got Auckland City in there, so like I just think the marketing doesn't match the some of the teams that qualify. You know what I mean? And so like maybe you got to work on it.
That's a solid point. One of the players I think took all his PTO, so he's on unpaid leave for that. Bro, you know how pissed I'll be? Like, call your manager like, hey, I'm about to play Bayern Munich. I'm not gonna be able to make it to work today. That's wild.
Or his manager call him like, yo, I thought someone could cover you, but I need you to come in tomorrow.
Yo, imagine he's lying, and then the guy puts on the Bayern Munich game. He's like, I see you on TV.
Or the manager being like, bro, you didn't even get any starting time. What do you mean you can't make it?
You know these bosses don't play, bro. Gotta be on the next flight home. In between FIFA Club World Cup games, you gotta get your shift. Oh man, that was funny. Man. All right, what else do we got? Well, so all this international break, just to say, our players are missing, but let's talk about what they've been up to lately. So first we got Aiden O'Neill,
brand new to the team.
He
went
plays,
right back.
He plays for the Subway Socceroos. So isn't that a cool name? The Australian national team.
That's
I don't know why they're called that. Are there like Subways in Australia?
Maybe Subway means something else over there.
I need to watch.
Maybe they're really into sandwiches over there. I don't know.
I thought Bluey would give me more insight into this. It does not. Bluey does fake players in Australia. Don't even try to question that.
I wasn't sure if Bluey was really Australia or New Zealand.
All my Bluey fans, please fact check. No, they say the Aussie.
They do say that?
I think so. So Aiden O'Neill helps the Aussie team clinch a World Cup spot. Epic story.
They beat Japan. I think it's the first time they've beaten Japan since like 1991.
Oh, that's wild.
That's insane.
So that's a feel good story. Happy for Aiden O'Neill.
Yes.
Don't know how that's gonna affect us next year. Are we playing during the World Cup? Knowing MLS, we might miss this guy next year in the middle of our run.
On that note,
what?
Like I said, I play a lot of FIFA. They had Aiden O'Neill on the team 2-3 weeks. Now Aiden O'Neill's gone. FIFA, give me back Aiden O'Neill. My midfield is weak. And you're like, oh, he's on international break. No. We got Freese. We got Alonso Martinez. We got Micha.
You sure they ever put him in the game, bro?
I played with Aiden O'Neill, and then they just took him out. Fix it, FIFA. Or EA. It's not even called
EAFC.
Yeah, FIFA. Go fix it.
Then we got Alonso Martinez doing Alonso Martinez thing. Costa Rica, I forgot who beat what team, like 8-0, destroyed them. But Alonso Martinez has scored in 2 straight games because then they played in Gold Cup and he scored there too. He's still on fire.
You know what? He's got to bring it back home. I feel like he gets motivated. He comes back from Costa Rica and he goes, I got it. I still got it. So I'm hoping he comes back motivated and becomes hot when he comes back to the team.
I wanted to say Micha also went on like the under 22. I have no idea what he did though, but good for you, Micha. I just want to show him some love, but because I don't know. I think there was other players too, but I'm just thinking of the main guys on the squad. And then Mats Freeze finally gets his debut, starts call up. What'd you think?
I gotta say, I was a little scared. I was like, they're gonna, we've been hearing a lot of the news. The starting team isn't coming to play, right? Pulisic's out. Other players whose names I can't remember right now.
Or I forget who else.
No, Way's there. Way was playing recently. Who's the other guy in the midfield? whatever. A lot of the starting team has decided not to play, right? And then it goes, and then the first game you get Matt Freese to start, and it's like, oh man, you're gonna go and get the goalkeeper to play. We finally want him to play, but if he's not playing against, his teammates aren't the best teammates, is it gonna make him look bad?
Yeah,
I thought he started a great game. We lost that first game against Turkey, 2-1.
Yeah,
but one of those goals I think was an own goal.
Yeah, it was something about that, yeah.
So he only gave up one goal, and it's so funny. I was just thinking about, like, man, Matt Freese gets no luck here, bro.
This guy's the king of getting own goals.
Exactly. So what do? The next game, they put Turner in. Turner bombs. It was
Switzerland.
Also,
it's not more than just Turner, but yes.
No, agreed. But then they give the job back to Matt Freese. And did you hear the way the coach said it? He was like, oh, I know Turner's the starter, but we just want to see what Freese can do. And they put him back in this game against Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, you got to think about it. We keep talking about Turner not really getting that much burn in Europe. So it's like Matt is playing consistently every game, and he's got a big save for us every game. So it's like, why not start him? You know what I mean? And I think he's starting to slowly get that. It's starting to slowly become his. And if he keeps playing the way he is, I think we're going to see a lot more Matt Freese.
Would you predict that he's going to be the starter for the World Cup?
That would be wild.
It would be amazing.
If he can really go on this Gold Cup run and be the solidified starter and really get a lot of time with these guys, I don't see why not.
The question is, are they going to make a run in the Gold Cup?
They need to make a run in the Gold Cup.
Right now, they're third in the standings.
No, Gold Cup just started, no? I don't know how... You might be right.
I might be wrong, too. You never know, because I'm clueless. But last time I checked, I thought they were third in the standings.
No, this is round one.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how you could be third, bro, when you won a game. They were number one. And they only played one game.
Disregard what I just said. They're first in the standings. Oh, and we got Haiti and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, this should be
we should be able to beat Haiti.
We should always get out of group stage and Gold Cup. That's like a for sure.
I hope you're right. And also, we gotta take the win against Trinidad with a grain of salt. That was I looked them up. They're ranked 100 in the world, and we are ranked 16. So it was we should have won. But we win the ones that you're supposed to win. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah. One thing that was the overlying conversation for the last 2 weeks is, these guys don't want to play for their national team. There's no pride. I want to flip the story because we have somebody on our team who basically flipped the story. He said, I want to play for my local club. I want to get the start. Let's talk about the goalkeeper, Romero. Romero goes... He gets called up to the El Salvador national team. Granted, it's as a backup, but still, anytime, if I'm ever going to get called up, you always want to be with that national team because they're going to remember, he's practicing with us. He's doing this. But Romero decides to stay with NYCFC knowing that he might have the chance to start with the club if he doesn't go on international duty because Matt Freese is on international duty. So that was really cool to see. And for all those people who say who cares about MLS? Clearly people do. Players and fans care. And you saw it with Romero's decision to stay back with the club. What were your thoughts?
I thought that was awesome to see that he put the team in front of his international team. And it's MLS, I think was a huge deal and just shows how hungry he is to get a start. He's been on this team for a while. And I think he saw this as the opportunity to show that he's become something. And so that's been pretty awesome. I like to point out that is not at all flipping the script. That's exactly what Pulisic did. But that's okay.
I guess you're actually right about that. No, but... but Pulisic was saying it was more for his health. He wasn't shying away from the fact that it was just because he wanted to be with his local club. I guess you're right. Maybe I didn't flip the script. Whatever. Point is, it's a good story that Romero stayed back and showed his grit and wanted to start this game.
Yeah. And the crazy thing was they learned from that because he didn't get called up. So he called them before they did the calling and was like, hey, I really want to stay. I'm going to get the start. and then they
But
they
he's in
didn't
constant-
call him up.
But he's in constant communication with the El
Exactly.
Salvador. Like, he has good relations with them.
Exactly. So
I
he
think
said, "Don't call me up." But then on the El Salvador news, they asked the team, like, "Why didn't you call up Romero?"
Oh.
And then they were like, "Oh, we had a conversation with him, and he didn't want to get called up because he had an opportunity to play for his team."
Very cool.
So that is cool.
Very cool. And that gets us straight into this NYCFC versus... Is there anything else we're missing outside of the sphere of all this international?
I mean, do you got any thoughts on this whole Pulisic thing?
Not every... I mean, I don't know if you heard the whole conversation, the back and forth with the coach. Basically, he wanted to play the friendlies.
Yeah.
And the coach was like, no, if you're not going to play Gold Cup, you're not going to play the friendlies.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good look. Why not? I get it. You may want to have consistent starters, but the World Cup's 1 year away.
Yeah.
Like, we need to have we're going to have, like, you're going to tell me Pulisic's not going to play in the World Cup? So
Yeah.
then why not give him Burns, even if it's for friendly games?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Do you feel differently?
No. I thought the same thing. I thought, if you think about it, like, this coach is an experienced coach, but it's his first time being an international coach. And so it's like, it's one of those things where, like, for your team, you're not going to let that happen, right? Oh, you'll play the friendlies, but you're going to miss a few games. And I think it's like, it's a coach who's brand new trying to figure out how you deal with, like, the balance of, like, dealing with international play and then dealing with, like, local teams. And I think what kind of was the big mistake, honestly, was that when this first happened and the coach said something about it, your boy didn't say anything. He was like quiet for like 2-3 weeks. And the only reason he said anything in public was because Donovan shouted him out.
Oh, you saw his dad clap back at him.
Yeah, I did see that. That was insane.
That was wild.
Dads in soccer play no games, bro.
Bro, it runs in the U.S. blood, bro. Who was it? What was our guy?
Gio Reyna?
Yeah, Gio Reyna.
Bro, Cariso's dad too.
Yo, Cariso's dad gets tight, bro. But by the way, Pochettino lost 3 in a row, and that hasn't happened since Jurgen Klinsmann was the head U.S. men's national team coach. And what happened to him? Got fired. Nah, he's not. This guy's nowhere near getting fired, but it's just interesting, like, things that are playing out and things that we don't want to see. And everybody blamed Greg Berhalter, but whatever, those were friendlies. I also feel like maybe we might be over exaggerating friendlies, and they were really tough. Like, Switzerland's no easy team.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on that.
I can't pronounce that dude's name, Pochettino, so I'm glad you said it. Because I was like, that's why I kept saying the coach. I was like, I'm going to ruin this if I say it out loud.
NYCFC versus Atlanta United. So this was like a Thursday game.
Bro, when did they start Thursday games?
When they decided to play games during international break, and they don't have any clue when to put these games on.
Our next home game is also on a Thursday.
It's all a mess, bro.
The vibe before was real weird, bro.
Yeah, so we already know the week before it was like a Wednesday. There was tops 5,000 people. It was raining. And so we're going into this Thursday game like, damn, a Thursday game. Like, I don't really want to go.
No
like,
Matt Freese. no Alonso Martinez.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see Moonsef start.
I think Keaton Parks has been injured for a couple weeks.
Yes.
We had a lot of things not going our way.
Yes. Honestly, I was not excited to go to that stadium.
So it was a Thursday game. I mean, granted, it was a couple weeks, so I was still a little... Was there a break? I forget. I feel like there was a little bit of a break. Then I was like still excited to go, but it was like, this is going to be a rough one. I think somebody before the game was like, what is your score prediction? And me being sarcastic, 3-0. We're going to win big. And I was like, I don't know if that's really the game. And then we get our starting 11. So let's go through the starting 11. We got Wolf, Bakrar, Ojeda, top 3. Then we got our midfield, Morales, Pereira, Fernandez. Oh, this is...
No, that's right.
Yeah, but Wolf was playing a little more centrally, I would say, in the beginning. Well, let's keep going. Risa, Martins, Hack, and Tana at the back line, and then Romero at goalkeeper. Initial thoughts when you saw the lineup?
I thought, wow, we're playing really defensively here. You have Tana as right back. You have Burke Risa at left back. And you're thinking, okay, I guess, you're going to keep that back line back. And you're really going to put a lot of pressure to have your offensive players move the ball forward. Because think about it, it was the first time you had Fernandez, Ojeda, and Wolf out at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen that at any other game. And so the way I saw it was, we know the issues that Baccarat has scoring. He's going to need support. Let's get as much support as we can to make more of an attacking presence.
And I didn't listen to the pod. Hudson River Blue had an interview with Ronnie D, but going to what you're saying, he said something about really bringing out a 5-back line in that podcast. I know you listened, so maybe it made more sense for us to have more of an attacking threat with more offensive attacking players.
Yes, I don't know if I heard that on that. I heard that. I think I looked it up on an interview that was held by the Atlanta and their team on their Twitter. But yeah, they have some players on international leave too, and he was saying that even their midfield had some fullbacks on it. So they had their back line with fullbacks, and then they had their midfield with some fullbacks as well. So it was like a stacked defensive team, and you could see throughout the game that on offense it would be 3 in the back, 4 in the back for Atlanta, but then on defense they moved everyone back.
Yeah,
and you would have 5 on the back line. And it's one of those things where we know that that's NYCFC's weakness is playing
the low block.
That low block. Yeah.
Talking about Ronnie was back.
Yes.
We all knew that coming into it. I think it's funny. I think the team before, they did like a thing, like on their socials, like, oh, Ronnie's back. They took a picture, a video of him. I think before the game, he was measuring the field. I'm not even going to lie. And the video, I think Jonathan Sanchez pointed it out on Instagram. It looked like he had a tape measure in his hand. They're like, bro, why would you put that video up? As any of the videos you could have put up, you put him measuring the stadium.
Wait, was he measuring it? Was this like an old video when he was on the team?
No,
or did he show up with
the tape measure, bro?
Bro, first of all, do they even make tape measures that big?
I don't know what he was doing, bro. He was going inch by inch. But it looked like he had a tape. I could be completely wrong about this, but it really did look like he had a tape measure.
That's
in
crazy.
His hand. So I found that funny. Go.
No. Are you gonna stick with Ronnie? Or are you gonna move on?
No, I'm gonna move on. So go.
That's why I didn't want. Yeah, I saw it in your face. Well, what I did hear from the Hudson River Blue podcast,
they interviewed
him. Shout out to those guys, because if you didn't listen to it, really listen to it, because he talked about his time on the team. And why he left the team. He said, like he said to us at the time, mission accomplished. I came here to win the cup. I won the cup. I wanted a new challenge. Yeah. But what I thought was interesting was the time before that. He was saying, I came to this club and it was pretty much like players got to do whatever players wanted to do. There was no like hard coaching here. And you could tell that it was just kind of a players team. And I did not want that, and we had to whip the team into shape, into like playing disciplined, and I thought that was really interesting because we think about the time before Ronnie Dyla, and I think of Dome, and I go, I miss Dome. He was the greatest, but I think we always saw that Dome wasn't there to train young players. He was there to find. He was like, NYCFC, you sign stars and I'll make stars do star things because they're stars. So I think it's interesting to see that big difference.
One thing I will say is Dome was the man with the squad he had, though. So Ronnie could have said like, they were disorganized. That team got it done. That 2019 was stacked. Well, not stacked, but we played so good.
But it's
we
because
were top
the team,
of the East.
But it's because the team was stacked. That's what I'm saying. We had
I don't know
stars.
if we were necessarily stacked.
We had the greatest player of all time, Medina.
I know you were gonna say that.
We had Alex Ring.
We had a young Valentin Castellanos who wasn't proven
he wasn't
like
getting
that.
Playing time.
No, he was towards the end of that season. He was, because I remember they brought Taty in, and I think he didn't. Oh no, we had Hebed too.
Yes, we had Hebed. Remember, Taty only got playing time because Hebed got injured. Yeah, I think that was under Ronnie.
No. Well, yeah. Well, no, Hebed's happened. I thought Hebed's injury happened in that 2019 season. But I could be wrong. You might be right. I could be wrong about that.
Remember, when we first saw Taty, he only played on the left wing. And then he slowly became striker when Hebed got injured.
Who was our number 9 back then? I don't know.
David Villa?
No, I know. Not
and then Hebed.
No,
and
but the 2019 season when we bounced out on City Field, we had somebody else at striker. It wasn't Villa at that time.
It was Hebed.
Was it Hebed?
I think
It might have
was
been.
bad. But then remember, we had
What I'm saying is that team was not that sloppy. I'm saying they were a contending
Well,
team.
no, but what I'm saying is that NYCFC's motto, and maybe it's because of this new coaching style, was like, let's take young players and make them talented, right? And Dome's thing was, I don't want young players. I want good players, and I'll play good players to play my game plan. That's the way I kind of saw it.
Yeah.
Because we saw people that we thought had potential, and they would never touch the pitch. It was only the best players on that team that would touch the pitch.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting. He said something else, but now I'm forgetting. But yeah, I think that was kind of his thing, was like management had like a certain way of doing things, and I wanted to do it differently. And so
it's working so well for Matt in Atlanta. Or when he went
but you
to
know
Europe.
what? I really think he was trying to save his ass, because a part of it, he goes, it took me 2 to 3 years to get that team into shape. And I'm like, okay, my man's trying to ride this out, because he's looking real bad this year.
So we go. We know Ronnie's back, but then we're going to our seats. They do the national anthem. All right, it's about to be game time. Out of nowhere, God has risen. He has come back from Italy. That's where he's playing right now. And he goes and pressed the smokestack. Taty Castellanos. Yo, I was shocked.
Bro, I had goosebumps.
You know what's funny, though? I knew Taty was in the U.S. He played in something in Florida. I don't even know what it was called. Not that many people went, but it was like supposed to be like this buzz with a bunch of, like, Ronaldinho was there. It was supposed to be like this cool thing that they did in, I think, Hard Rock Stadium. So he was in that tournament or whatever that thing was. But it wasn't like a serious thing. It was like with older players, younger players. It was supposed to be a cool event. But I didn't know he was coming to New York. So then I see him at the smokestacks. I'm like, he's on international break. He was on like leave for now, and then he did his thing in Florida. And now he came back to New York. But Taty was back.
I feel like that changed the whole vibe. Do you not get that? I felt like the stadium was kind of quiet. The Pledge of Allegiance was kind of quiet. It wasn't really packed in there. And then all of a sudden, you see him on the screen with the smokestacks.
Yeah.
And everyone just, like, it got so loud. Like, felt like it was 25,000 people back in the stadium.
Yeah, it was fire. And the crazy thing is, so many people were back. So Ronnie was there. Taty was there. We find out after the game, Andres Jason is there. Who else?
Scally was there.
Scally there. There's one more from the camp. James Sands.
James Sands was there.
So it was crazy. Everybody was back, and it became this bigger game. It became one of those Thursday night games that is like really, really memorable.
Yeah, it's one of those times, like, you're never gonna forget that game. You're gonna be like, I cannot believe I went to Europe during this week and missed that game.
It was a pretty cool game. It brought me back to 2021 days. It was just fun too. We haven't seen that big amount of scoring in such a long time.
And like watching like the team look like they were having fun, and like watching the ball move fluidly, which honestly didn't start that way. The first half felt like, all right, this is the team we've signed up for. I was a little embarrassed. I was like, man, Taty's home, and he's like, this is what I left. But the second half changed things. But maybe we should talk about the first half before we get there. But yeah, vibes were high with Taty in the stadium. We didn't know all those other people were there until after the game.
Yeah. So first half, we start off shaky. 13th minute, Romero, he gets one-on-one with I believe their striker. He kind of like blocks him, but also touches the ball. Whatever you want to make of it. It gets called. What does it get originally called as a PK?
It gets called the PK.
And then they go and they. No,
it doesn't get called.
But then they stop it and they say it has to go to VAR.
Yes. Bro, I thought that was a PK. We did ask Romero afterwards. We said, we ain't gonna snitch. We just gotta know. You were there. Well, did you touch ball first? He said, I touch all ball. I don't believe him.
He was adamant.
He didn't second PK. He said it immediately. It was like, oh, that was all ball.
Danny was hilarious with it too. He was like, nobody's listening. But yo, that was a PK, right? He was like, nope. He was fast with it. He was like, nope, that was not a PK.
He said absolutely not.
Because he said he touched the ball.
He said he touched the ball.
And I thought,
hey,
one ball only. But I did feel like the offensive player was selling it too. That was the issue. Like if he didn't try to oversell the foul, then I think it might have also still gone. But he touched the ball, and that's why I didn't get called. Regardless, by that point, they had the more dangerous opportunities.
Yes,
13
they did.
minutes in. Then it kept going because in the 37th minute, or I think it was before even the 37th minute, they hit the goalpost.
Yes.
So they had another dangerous opportunity that first half.
Yes. Although our boy Romero was going to save that ball. His hand was right there. So I just want to throw that out there.
Oh, wow. He didn't save the ball and it hit the goalpost.
All right. I'm just saying. I'm saying his hand was right below the goalpost.
I got
and my man's been working out his biceps and his forearms. He would have stopped that from going in.
Then in the 37th minute, they had another opportunity which we got saved. I didn't even understand the offsides.
Bro, we checked it today. I still don't understand the offsides. I don't think there was an offsides.
I think we were giving love to the ref. We're like, yo, we need this ref every game for us.
Bro, but I've heard someone posted on our Twitter like, I hate this ref. He's always making bad calls. He's like, I think both of those should have gone against us. So I hate him. Although I'm happy he did it for our team, this ref shouldn't be reffing. And I honestly, to me, it came off like both of those calls, those were his original calls.
Yeah.
And they were too scared to
like
turn
he's like,
them
I'm
over.
keeping it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's a little hard-headed with
Because
it.
I did not see the offsides either, bro. And they showed a few angles of that, and I didn't see it. Did you think it was offside?
I didn't understand it. Maybe I just didn't
Like
see.
you don't understand the offside rule, or you don't?
Never understood it. No, I didn't understand how they came to that conclusion on that offside. But we'll take it.
Yeah.
Then we go. So I didn't think it was a strong first half. We had our moments. They had their moments. Then the 44th minute comes. Hannes. How does that goal happen again?
No, Maxi does the press on the left, and then the player has to get past the ball. He kind of falls a little bit, passes it over, and Hannes, it was closer to the goalkeeper, but then comes in, intercepts the ball before it hits that fullback, and then he passes it to Maxi on the left, and then Maxi scores it into the corner.
But Maxi, let's talk about Maxi.
What a goal, by the way.
He's back, baby.
That angle is beautiful.
It was good to see Maxi back on the score sheet. By the way, he becomes our oldest scorer to ever score. Or our oldest. That's our. Wait. Let me I don't know how to speak English. Hold on. I'm gonna oldest player all time to score for New York City FC at 38 years, 3 months, and 16 days.
That's
which
crazy.
Means if he scores again, he's our oldest player again to score at 38 years and however many months.
3 months and 21 days. When's he gonna keep breaking this record?
Another interesting thing about Maxi.
What?
He now leads the team with most amount of starts. He just surpassed Sean Johnson. For now, he has 180 starts for the most regular season starts in club history.
Wow.
There you go, Maxi, El Capitón. That's never been the captain, which makes no sense, but El Capitón in our hearts.
And not only that, my 38-year-old Maxi Morales, I think, played all 90 minutes this game and has consistently played 90 minutes. And our boy asked us, Halen was like, has Maxi passed the rumors, or, gotten past the rumors that he can't play 90 minutes? My thing, what I told him back, I want to get your thoughts on this, is not that he can't play 90 minutes, is that should he be playing 90 minutes? Because we need this man in October.
No,
we cannot win in October without Maxi Morales. And, why are we not subbing this guy out?
I mean, especially if did we really not sub him out this game?
Look, you can see it right there. We didn't sub him out.
Yeah, we didn't. Why didn't we sub him out? You know why? Because he did this Taty celebration for all my listeners instead of viewers. He did the Taty celebration after.
That was nice.
So he had to play the whole game for Taty. The Argentinian connection. I asked him after the game, why'd you do the Taty celebration? He responded in English, which why it wasn't a good soundbite, but he just said something lines, this guy was a legend for the club, and it was just to show him some love.
Also, I asked Maxi, after the game, did you convince Taty to come back? And he said he's coming back. Not anytime soon, but he'll be back. Can't wait to see 35-year-old Taty Castellanos back on this team. I'm hyped.
Would you take him back at like a much older Taty? You know why?
100,000%.
You know why I would say that might not be a good idea?
Why?
Because what is Taty so good at? His work rate, his pressing, everything. He had unlimited stamina. Now you get a 35-year-old Taty, maybe it balances out. Maybe he slows down a step.
Bro, we were just talked about how 38-year-old Maxi is playing 90 minutes every game.
That's true.
And this is 38. It's 3 years older. Imagine Maxi. No, imagine Taty doing it at coming here 33, 34.
I imagine the stadium opens and he's back.
That's a little young, bro. Dude's gonna be like 27. How old is Taty right now?
Let me see.
Oh, but while you're doing that, bro, you just also forget how much swag that team had.
Well, how much swag Castellanos had, bro?
Yes. Because, I mean, my man's was just
He's
26. 26. He's young, bro. He's not coming back for the stadium.
Damn. Yeah, but he has some swag. He has an aura about him, bro.
Yes.
We were driving out of the parking lot, and me, like an idiot, I see him like going to his car, and I'm like beeping my horn just to give him the head nod, and he's looking at me like, who the hell is this kid? And then he just goes like this, and I'm like, swag, bro.
You're like, bro, our sticker's on your water bottle, homie.
I know. I wonder if he still has it.
Probably not.
You know he still has it, bro. Nah, they probably got some fire stickers out there. Those Italian Lazio stickers where he looks G'd out.
But bro, man, what a team. What a team. It really reminds me of the old days. But this game gave us very reminiscent of 2021. So
well,
nice.
There's so many stories. Let's just keep talking about
Okay,
this
let's
game.
keep.
Was fun. It was filled. It just was a good game. So we got the first goal. That takes us into half. Didn't Pascal Janssen say something about like that first goal and why it's so important?
Yes. So, I mean, Pascal Janssen has talked about this throughout the season, how important it is to score that first goal. Because what happens then you don't have a team that can just sit back, right? We have an issue with having getting past a five in the back, getting past a low block. But at the moment you score a goal, then what happens? The other team has to open up. They have to try to score. And it makes such a big difference. And after Maxi scores on that 44th minute, you see that. It's a huge difference. Also, I looked up the stat prior to this. Last year, NYCFC scored 10 times first. They had a 70% win rate when they scored first. It's just a huge difference, man.
Yeah.
And you saw that today. They, as Ronnie showed, and actually you saw it on the lineup, he had five in the back the majority of that game, but he couldn't do that in the second half.
Yo, you've been almost sneezing for like 5 minutes.
I'm gonna look crazy on camera. We can't use this clip on Instagram.
Bro, I'm gonna only use that clip for Instagram. Yo, I was like, what is going on? Your face was just like,
Point is, I'm gonna sneeze again. But you can continue. You can continue with my point.
Moving on. Second.
No. It's super important to score first. Right. Five in the back. Big difference. Pascal agreed to it. Yes. Okay, move on.
I don't even know what you just said there. Second half starts. We're a little more loose. We're a little more free. And we got to give this guy love. Ojeda. Ojeda's been playing well. And I mean really well. And you were about to say something.
I'm going to let you finish your thought. We have a podcast. I'm letting you finish your thought.
Well, on this play, he had a tremendous play where he beats like three defenders. He shows he's clearly faster than everybody else on the pitch. Has a beautiful little dime to Munset Bakrar, who shoots, and it shoots it right to the goalkeeper, as Munset Bakrar usually does, and it gets blocked. But I did want to just give Ojeda that love on that possession because he just made so much happen throughout this whole game. And when we have an Ojeda like that, it kind of could turn this team around, because then you have this really dangerous weapon that could free up a bunch of other guys.
Something that we have spoken to Pascal Jansen on the past few weeks. A few weeks ago, we said, you've been playing Ojeda out there. What is Ojeda showing you that keeps having you start him? Because he hasn't really been that great on the pitch. And Pascal said in training, this guy's unstoppable. One-on-one, he looks for the ones-on-ones, and he's beating that defender almost every time. And I keep telling Ojeda that needs to be, transferred to a real game. And he's hesitant in a real game. He's not really looking for those one-on-ones. And you could just tell it's a difference. And he's like, I don't really know why that keeps happening, but I'm hoping that he can, turn that mentality around. And I thought this was like the show for him, right? You didn't have Alonso Martinez to rely on. And you saw an Ojeda who was like, no, I'm going to put this game in my hands. And that opportunity was really great. But he had multiple opportunities where he was driving down the pitch and he was the only one. I mean, he was with 2 or 3 defenders and he went to, pass it into the box and no one was there. Moonsev wasn't there. Wolf wasn't there. So you could tell that he was doing a lot. And I think something that Pascal mentioned too was not only was he good on the ball, but off the ball. He played really well defensively. He pushed back. He kept finding places to get open. It was just a very different Ojeda. And I think if we keep seeing this Ojeda from now on, we're going to be talking about how valuable he is to this team.
Yeah, it kind of is reminiscent to me of like what Malachi was for us last season before the injury. Just that speed and like every time you got him the ball, he was a threat offensively. And that's what Ojeda could be for us.
He might be the next Medina.
All right, calm down. So Moonsev misses that shot, but 1 minute later, he then what? Oh, you're putting these weird faces. Sorry, are you sneezing? Are you not sneezing?
But I think sometimes you missed part of the story. When he misses that shot, the crowd. It's
that's what I was gonna get into. Everybody kind of did this long side, but I do want to preface. Whatever, we'll keep talking, but. Yeah, everybody sighed and everybody felt like, Moonsev again.
Moonsev being Moonsev.
And then, who passed it to him? I forget who passed it to. I think, Pereira passed it to him right outside the box. And Moonsev with his right foot, like, it was so fast. It was just not even a touch, just boom, first shot, bang, right to the right side of the goal. And what he does is after he starts like waving to his ears, like signaling to the fans. Now I asked him, what did he mean by that? And he was like, I just wanted them to get loud. Did you feel like it was a little bit something different? I mean, this could only be our opinion because this is what he told us. He told us that he was just wanted to get the crowd loud. It felt like a little more to me. I don't know if you felt that way too.
I felt that way too. He said you didn't want to clap for me last season. I'm bringing a goal. I think there's just this huge like opinion from the public that if Moonsev starts, you're going to be really frustrated at goal.
Yeah.
And a lot of times Moonsev lives up to that. But sometimes he has flashes of brilliance. And this was one of those where you're like, wow, if this guy can do this consistently, we have a real striker here.
Yeah.
The problem is the consistency. But what a banger.
That was a banger. It was a great goal. I wish I could get in his head. I kind of wanted him to like F you to the crowd, but then be like, I love you guys. But he didn't. We'll never know what the real thing was behind that celebration.
I heard he dedicated that to Cushing.
He still misses him, bro. After him starting him like 12 straight games.
He'd still be starting if Cushing was around.
All right, then we move on.
We move not much. We move on by 2 minutes.
Yes, and that was the whole thing. 2 minutes later, Wolf scores. How did he score again? I'm blinking out.
That was the one where he was on the left side. Maxi passes it a little bit to the left, and he just makes that shot all the way to the right side. Yeah,
to the left side of the box. It's the right side of the corner.
Yeah, bottom right of the corner.
Yeah,
but from like a really sharp angle. He had to like curve it around the goalkeeper, and he was able to do that.
Immediately after the goal, he pulls up his shirt. Oh, why didn't I get the exact words of what the shirt said? That would have been helpful for this. But it was to honor the victims. It said like peace, to those in Graz or something along those lines. And it was to honor the victims in his hometown, Graz, Austria, where there was a school shooting that left about 11 people dead, which was a really crazy thing. That even happened in his hometown. And I think after the game I asked him about it, you could tell like it kind of hit home for him. He didn't particularly know any of the players, but he didn't get watery or anything, but you could tell like it came from a really deep place for him.
Yeah.
And he really cared about it.
Yeah. And you could tell that how important it was for him to score this game.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just about helping the team win, but him giving his message. And he said, like, I'm really happy that I was able to score because I really wanted to share this moment. So that was really nice.
Yeah. And then 1 minute later, he scores again?
I blinked and then there was another goal.
Somebody, I forgot, one of the media members went to use the bathroom. He missed all 3 goals. That was hilarious. He just came back like, damn, bro, what happened? That was a bad time to take a poopy, bro.
Seriously,
no
bro.
taking poops in that 5-minute stretch.
But also there was, I think it was Thiago Martins, if you want to scroll down a little bit, but it was a long pass. From Justin Hack. Justin Hack had a straight through the pitch, bro. And then Hannes Wolf was 1-on-1, and then 1-on-1 plus the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he had
that little skip over both of them to score that goal.
Yeah.
What a monster.
But that goal was the fastest. You sent me this.
The fastest 3 minute. The fastest goal. The fastest they've ever scored 3 goals.
In the league? I'll tell you right
for
now.
the team.
New York City scored 3 goals in a 5-minute span for the first time in club history, and just the 11th time in a single half in league history.
That's pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. I wonder if we had that, if we're on the top 11 for the last time we played Atlanta. Because we also scored mad goals really quickly there before we lost that game.
I don't even remember that game. I don't even want to think about that game. We should have won that game. Is there any other takeaways? I feel like there was another storyline I wanted to talk about.
Well, I do want to say that, first of all, Wolf has been unbelievable for us. Like, if we take this back, I think Wolf had a really tough start to the season. And the problem was he had a really tough end to the last season. So we're like, is this the end of Wolf's time? But, I mean, the further that we've progressed into this season, the more and more valuable he's become. He's become really valuable on the left. And I thought, we only tied the last game because of him, right? That 2-2 Nashville. And he scored 2 goals in that game. And he scored here. But even when it's not just about scoring, like the way he's been just making opportunities for everyone else, I just think he's just slowly growing to be a more important player to this team. And with Keaton Parks potentially being out for even longer with that foot injury, I think he's going to be even more important to this team.
Yeah, 4 goals in 2 games and an assist.
Yes.
Like you really can't make that up. And for Hannes Wolf, 8 goals this season already. The last time he's had more than 8 goals was in 2018, back when he was playing in Salzburg, and that was like his peak, like when people were super into Hannes Wolf and he was at the peak. So it's like he's getting back to that point of like, he's finally got enough consistent minutes, I think, to really start making a difference, and we're seeing it happen. So he can outbeat his highest scoring season, which was 12 with Salzburg. Yeah. And he's already at 8, and we're halfway through the season. I mean, he can, if he's still scoring at this rate, this could be one of his best seasons ever in his soccer career.
Yeah.
I actually asked him, like, is this the hottest you've been? He's like, I don't really think about that, but it's like, I just think about how I can help my team.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's on a hot streak. You love to see it.
I love that. What's that thing they keep saying?
What?
Hungry like a wolf.
Oh, and I don't know if you heard it, but I think people are starting to howl after he scores.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. If that sticks, let's make that stick, guys.
I think he howled after he scored, after one of them. I heard that someone posted on Twitter, like, really excited to see him, like, howl after one of the goals. That'd be very cool.
That would be fire.
Yeah.
That should be our thing. They should also play it after, like, a goal scoring. Like,
we know the DJ. Yo, play that. Play the Halloween song. I think they howl. The Michael Jackson song. Don't they woof in the,
Oh,
howl in the beginning of it?
All right, new pledge. Anytime Hannes Wolf scores, we play Michael Jackson, the Howling song. Because we don't know
I
the
think
name
that's
of it.
Thriller.
It's Thriller. It's got to be Thriller. You heard it there, DJ. DJ. Anything else?
Romero. Well,
We already talked about Romero.
No, but do you think he had a good game? How did you feel about just like his overall game?
I thought he played well. I thought he played good, and what's a promising sign is whenever Freeze does go on international duty, and it also scares me because Wolf is getting more and more views on him. Matt Freeze is getting a lot of attention now.
That's true.
And when goalkeepers get a lot of attention, it could mean they're on to their next thing. But it's good to know that we have Romero, and it's only small sample size, so we'll see what it comes out to be. But I like it so far.
Yeah, I thought he was a little shaky in the beginning of the game. I thought he was going to give that penalty kick, but I thought when that penalty kick got overturned and that offside goal got overturned, then you had I think you had a point where Romero was like, okay, this is my game, bro. Like, and after that, he had some really good saves later in the game and came out of the box a couple times to make some pretty big saves. So, yeah, I'm excited to see a little bit more Romero. I think, he's been on this team for a while. He should have an opportunity. And now that he has an opportunity while Freese is gone, it's going to be fun. So, I'm excited.
Yeah. We got Montreal coming June 28th. We're going to preview that in our next one. I think next episode, we're going to do rate the season so far, the halfway point, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's it for this episode.
We were gonna do it this season, but we had all this great stuff. This game ended up being way more fun than we expected it to be.
I'm really glad this game was as fun as it was.
Yes.
I'm hoping June 28th. I think it's like a random Wednesday again. It's
a Thursday. The next home game is a Thursday, but we have a Montreal game somewhere. We have a Montreal game in Montreal. I don't know what day that is.
June 28th.
And then the next game we have is in Toronto. No, it's here against Toronto. Yeah, but the 28th is also a Thursday. Maybe we could do a live stream for that.
I'm down.
That would be cool.
Wait, for Montreal?
Yeah.
I might be down with that.
Because that game's not at home, right? That game's away.
Yeah, that game's away.
And hopefully we win that. You know what I mean? That's
So now we sit 7th in the East. That's not bad.
That's not. After that game, we were 5th, so it was nice.
And look, we're a win away from being 4th. Like, if let's say everybody loses ahead of us, but we're not that far off, and we're only 1 point away from Inter Miami.
Exactly. We're 28 points. The top team has 37, but right below 37 is 33. So 5 points away from second place is not bad at all. And, we'll talk about this on the report card, but I think Janssen has done a lot. And you have to remember, we won 4-0 without Parks, without Alonso Martinez, without Matt Freese. Like, that's a coach that I could stand behind. So it's been good times, man. Kind of.
All right. I think that's us. That's it for us.
I think that's it.
Yo, thanks for catching us, guys. Peace.